What's up, guys? Welcome to the Star Wars Cooking Guys show. I'm your host, as always. I'm Seth. Of course, you know that if you've watched any of my other episodes. Today, we are going to be making Keshian spice bread. So, get on down to Takodana or Batu and find a good spice mine down there. But, if you can't find some good spice, we're going to use a little substitute today. And we are going to use cinnamon. Alright, so let's just get started on here. I got a loaf pan. I got it all greased up and ready to go. Non-stick cooking spray is what I use. Alright, I got my oven preheating to 325 degrees. Alright. A lot of mixing in this today, so I've got my hand mixer. Yeah, I know. So we're going to be using that today. It's going to get a little loud in here, so I will try not to do any of my talking while the mixing is going on. First things first, I got a big bowl. We're going to need a big bowl. Got a lot of ingredients going in here. Going to do a cup of sugar. As I figure out how to open this. There. So 1 whole cup of sugar. Right into there. Alright. Close that back up and go get this out of the way because we are not going to need it anymore. So, in order for me to maintain the room that I have to put stuff away. So, that's what I'm going to do. Always want to have a good working space while you're doing this. So, next we're going to do is put in our room temperature butter. Softened butter. That's what you want. You want it to be soft. That way it goes in there. It mixes well. You don't want it to be, cold and trying to get it to mix up, and it won't mix up well if it's not. All right, like I said, just softened butter. 1 full stick. That's all you need. All right. Chop that up there. Make it help mix easier. So we're now going to plug in my little mixer here. It is going to get loud, but I'm going to get this mixed up. Once I get it mixed up, we will continue this process. So bear with me. Mix it up until it's light and fluffy looking. Kind of looks like a cheese, like a cottage cheese or something. Just not as runny or whatever. All right, so that's what we got right there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our eggs. We're going to be using 3 eggs in this, and we're only going to do 1 at a time. Beat that one in. Go for the second one, beat it in, and then go for the third and beat it in as well. So, like I said, 1 at a time. We want no shells. Very important. Don't want shells in any of our cooking stuff. Nobody likes to bite into a shell. Alright, so we're going to beat this one in. Like I said, 1 at a time. It's starting to cream together pretty good. Getting a more liquidy, solidish type form, as you can not see yet, and I will show you here in just a second. Once I have to get all 3 done. So we got our second egg going in. And beating it in now. Starts to look good. Alright. And the last but not least, the final egg. Whoop. Pop that right in there. Alright. Now let's mix that up. mix all the ingredients in very, very well. Alright, so we've got that done. Alright. We need to add our vanilla extract. We're going to need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Very special little bottle right there. Boop. Let's find the teaspoon. There we go. So 2 of these. Add this right into there. See, we started with a solidish. Now we're adding in a bunch of liquids, and then we're going to add a bunch of more solids in. So, you have to add liquids in to get a little liquidy. That way, mix it all in really, really good. We need to scrape some of this down. We'll make sure we get it all in here and mixed up really, really good. Like I said. Alright. More mix here before we start adding in the rest of our stuff. Alright, so now we're going to mix some of our dry ingredients in a separate bowl. Let me get a separate bowl here, which I got. So like I said, we got a lot going on here. Let me show you what this looks like real quick. Like I said, it's a liquidish form. You know what? Let me just tilt you down here. It'll be easier that way. Alright, yep. There you go. See what that looks like? It's a liquid, you know. It's not thick, it's not firm, you know, it's runny-ish, alright? So that's what we got so far. Alright, so now we're going to mix our flour, salt, baking soda, and baking powder into this other bowl here. This is going to be our dry mixture, you know. Normally with baked goods, you have a wet mixture and a dry mixture. You separate them and then you combine little by little, you know, to mix all this stuff together. So let's see what we got here. 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Which would be 3 of these, because I keep a 1/2 cup in there. That's normally what I use with my flour anyways, as a 1/2 cup. Alright, so we'll put that in there. We don't need the flour anymore, so what are we going to do? We're going to get it out of the way. Put it up where it goes. Alright, see, now we got some more room on here, more room to move, more room to get our stuff done. Alright, so we need our salt. Salt. And how much salt we doing? We're doing 1/2 teaspoon of salt. As soon as I find it here. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now most of your sweets do take a little bit of salt in them. You know, just, you know, for regular baking. We are done with the salt. We're going to put that down right there. Our baking soda, same thing, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Normally keep that in your fridge. That's where I keep mine. And then, of course, baking powder. 1/2 teaspoon of that as well. Boop, right in there. Alright. All that's together. We don't need those anymore, so we are going to... What are we going to do, class? Put them up. Put the baking powder up. Put the baking soda up back in the refrigerator. Alright. Keep it in the back. Keeps everything nice and fresh in there. So we're going to whisk this stuff together. Now remember, this is a dry mixture. Alright. So like I said, whisk that stuff together. And then we are going to take 1 cup of this and add it to our wet mixture. Right? Now add half of this to this mixture. So we got 1 cup there. And then about a cup left, probably. Yeah, so there we go. So like I said, 1 cup. 1 cup of that to this mixture. And we're going to blend this in as well at a low speed. Now, if you have like one of those standing mixers, this will work a little bit better because then you can move around and do things while you are getting this all mixed and ready to go. I don't have one of those, so I use my little hand mixer. Works just fine. Batter's thickening up just nice here. All right. So now we're going to transfer a cup of this to a smaller bowl. And this is going to make the cinnamon swirl. Yes, the cinnamon swirl that's going to be in our spice bread. So got this. I'm going to take a cup of this. Right in there with my spatula to get everything out, not leave any batter on here because we want it all. Right. A little bit more. Like I said, I didn't get a whole cup there, but there we go. All right. You don't want to stay. It's fine. Right over here. Good to go. All right. So, transferred that to there. And we're going to stir in all our cinnamon swirl ingredients. Now, our cinnamon swirl ingredients include brown sugar, ground cinnamon, and buttermilk. I get my buttermilk out. I like to keep it cold, so. Alright, so brown sugar, we're going to use 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Tablespoons, that's the big one, that's the big boy. Alright, so 1, 2, and 3. Yep, there we go. And use 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. So that's a little big for that. So we're going to use the half one to get right in there and just do 2 halves. You know, because that works. Like I said, this is our substitute for our spice. Alright. Alright, so we are going to need the ground cinnamon and the ground sugar just a little bit later. Alright, so we're going to keep those out, and then we need to add our buttermilk in here. And our buttermilk, we are going to need 1 tablespoon as well. Alright, so we'll just pour it right in there. And there we go. Buttermilk we will need later as well. But not quite as soon, so we're going to put it up for now. It goes with our little cinnamon swirl topping that we're going to make. So we're going to whisk these together. And we're going to make the nicest looking swirl stuff that we're going to swirl into this batter. Alright. Got that mixed up. We're going to take a half cup of sour cream and put it in our, a third cup of sour cream to put in our batter mix right there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and mix this in as well. Give this a very unique flavor. Alright. So, and we need to add the rest of this. All good, looking pretty good. I think so myself. All right, so now we are going to take this mixture that we have right here and so we're going to start putting this in our loaf pan. All right, and I'm going to tilt you down here and let you see exactly what I'm doing so you get to experience everything, you know. Now you haven't got to see all this, you know. This is just a lot of mixing at this point. This is going to take a little bit of je ne sais quoi, finesse, you know what I mean? Gotcha. So let's tilt you down. All right. We gotta make sure you stay because for some reason you just don't like to stay when you're tilted like that. I can't say that I blame you. You just get too top heavy. All right, I think we got it. All right, so we are going to now spread a cup of the plain batter into here. So 1 cup of the plain batter. Set that there so I have it when I need it. Because I knew I would. Get that right down in there, spread that out across the bottom. Now the recipe calls for an 8x4 pan. I couldn't find an 8x4 pan, so I'm using a 9x5 pan. Alright, so we transferred that in there, and now we're going to so we drop the cinnamon batter in by handfuls into the pan. Alright, and what this is going to create the swirl in the bread. Alright, the swirl. That's what we're looking for. We're going to look for the swirl. Alright. Right in there. Right by spoonfuls. And I'm just going to dump the rest in there. It's going to make it a little bit easier. We're going to swirl it anyways. So. Alright. Right in there. Now we're going to take the rest of the batter and put it on top. Obviously. In case you can't tell. So take it in there, scoop it right in there, put it on top. So we want to get it all out that we can. Alright, so now we're going to use a knife and drag it through the batter, to create swirls in our batter. With our cinnamon swirl that we got in there. So that's what we're doing now. We're swirling it around. Swirl, swirl. Because we don't want too much of the cinnamon just in one place. Or spice, We want it to be all nice and swirly. Alright. And, so it's all nice and swirled in here. Now we've got to make our topping that's going to go on top of this. Alright, so let's move a few things out of the way. Gotta make some room. Gotta grab another pan, bowl, I should say, to make our topping. So our topping is going to include some chopped pecans. We're going to use a 1/4 cup of chopped pecans. You can find these in the Walmart, in the baking section actually. Already chopped up, ready to go. And now I'm sure if you don't like pecans, I'm sure you can just use any nut you'd like. Walnuts would probably be another good one. Want to stay away from like the peanuts and stuff like that. But pecans should do really, really good in this. Yes. Alright. So we got our chopped pecans. I'm going to use 2 more tablespoons of brown sugar. Get my spoon here. That's it. 2 more tablespoons of brown sugar right in there. There we go. And then 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Like I said, told you we were going to use the cinnamon again. So here we go, getting it back in there. All right. So we're going to combine these. I'm going to use my whisk. I like using my whisk, obviously. Do need to spray it off, though. Alright. We'll whisk this around. Mix it all up nice in here with the brown sugar and the cinnamon and the chopped almonds. Alright. And then we're going to just sprinkle this on top here. Not too much in one spot, a little bit all over each of it. Alright. So make sure it's all nice and spread out, which it is. And there we go. So now, this goes in the oven. Alright, tilt you back up here. How you doing, Star Wars cooking guy? Seth here. Yeah, you got me back. So we're going to put this in the oven, and this is going to bake for 50 to 65 minutes. Like I said, at 325 in your oven. So we're going to put this in here. We're going to let it bake, and then we'll be right back after that. So until then, I will be right back as soon as this is ready. And guys, welcome back. It is time. It has came out of the oven. It smells amazing. It looks amazing. I'm going to get my bread knife here, and I'm going to slice into this, and then I'm going to show you what this looks like. Came out really easy out of the pan. Just used a butter knife to gently go around the edges to loosen it from the pan, make sure it wasn't sticking anywhere, and it wasn't. Use enough cooking spray, whatever your favorite cooking spray is, works just perfect as to get that out of there. All right, so we're going to see how we did on our swirls. Like I said, this is a bread. Oh my goodness. And I have got some great swirls in here. Let's see here. There we go. Look at that. Cinnamon swirls right through there. Our spice. Next thing we do is we taste. Gotta taste this, see how it tastes, and I think it's gonna be delicious. But we'll just jump right in here. That is good. Just like you buy from the store, except it's warm. It's right out of your own oven. So good, so good. Like, probably could make some type of icing to put on this, and it'd probably be even better. Yeah. All right, so we've done what we did. We made the bread, we tasted it, and boy, is it good. As you know, Kenobi is finally over. What a season finale. Oh my gosh. Great guest cameo at the end. Did not see that coming. Was always hoping, but did not see that coming. And what a fight between Obi-Wan and Vader. That was a fight for the ages. So, we got like 5 weeks until Andor when it comes out. Next Star Wars event that's coming out. So can't wait for that. We'll see how it goes. But until next time, we'll keep rocking it out, keep making these Star Wars recipes, and I'll see you next week. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, let me know.